everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, y'all know I have to invite the people in. Yes, I do, to the best community on the internet streets. I kid you not. This is the place to be. And listen, if you want to be a part of it, this is all you got to do. Go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit that notification bell too, so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight that nemesis of mine, that beast. I'm telling you, I have choked it out almost because of y'all. Y'all are always coming through with the thumbs up. And I'm telling you, I am so thankful and so grateful for that. Also, I want to give a shout out to all the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all are doing a bang up job as usual. And I am so thankful for that as well. Also, look over in the corner. That's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I would be so happy, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. Also, if you just want to do a one-time donation, look down there somewhere, find that super thanks button, and go ahead on and click it. And all donations to the channel will always be greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, I do have some shout outs and I have a new channel member. I do have a new channel member, but we're going to start out with the shout outs first. And first up is one of my favorite dudes on this planet, and that would be Mr. Kevin Slims. Yes, he is a ride or die, always coming through, always in the comments, always supporting. I mean, you couldn't ask for anybody better. He is just chef's kiss. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being a part of this community, and just thank you for being here. And next up is Miss Annette Sweat. Yes, Annette came on through again. Yes, Annette is everything. She is. She's one of my first supporters. She has never, ever wavered in that support. And she is everything. She is, and she knows it. She knows it. And if she don't know it, I'm here to tell her. So thank you, Annette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Kat Ham came through. Yes, she did. Kat has been with me for a while. Now, she don't always comment, but when she does, it is right on point. She is always supporting. She is everything as well, and I am so grateful that she is a part of this community. So thank you, Kat. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for being a part of this community. Just thank you for being here. And Ella came through. Yes, Ella Gully, my girl. She came through. She did. And she is always supporting. Ella is so supportive. She is always down with the read. Ride or die. Just absolutely one of the cornerstones of this community. And I'm so grateful to have her. So thank you, Ella. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Eulette came through. Yes, Eulette is a ride or die. She is always supporting the read. She is the best. She just is. She's everything. She's the best. She is just terrific. I can go on and on for days about Eulette, but she is just everything. I don't know what I did, but I'm so happy she chose us. So thank you, Eulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Tiger Mommy, yes, Yes, Tiger Mommy is my girl. She is. She's always coming through. She's always supporting. She is a ride or die, ride or die. She is. I mean, she is just everything. And I am so happy that she is everything here in this community as well. She has been with me for, I think, pretty much since the beginning. And her support never wavers, ever. She's everything. So thank you, Tiger Mommy. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And another ride or die would be Jennifer Clark. Yes, my girl Jennifer came on through. Yes, she did. Always supporting, always in those comments, always dropping the knowledge. She is just everything. And she is always down with the read. I'm telling you, she is always supporting. And she has been with me since the beginning too, and never ever wavers. She is incredible. She really is. So thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And we have a new channel member. We do. And their name is Arrington W. Arrington, thank you. Thank you so much for seeing something in my channel and deciding to support it. It means everything. It does. So happy. I am so happy, y'all. Y'all know I really get really hyped when I get a new channel member. I am just so excited. So thank you, Arlington. Thank you for seeing something in the channel. I just have to say that again because when you decide to support this channel, it just means everything. So thank you. All right, y'all, we're going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. Y'all, I want to give another quick shout out to Kevin Slims, Annette Sweat, Kat Hiram, Ella Gully, Eulette, Tiger Mommy, and Jennifer Clark. Y'all are just so special and so wonderful, and I appreciate you so very much. So thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, y'all, thank you for being here. And I also want to give another shout out to our new channel member, Arrington W. Arrington, thank you so much. Thank you. You made my day. And listen, your official welcome to the reading club will be posted over on the community page. And I want everybody to go over to the community page and welcome Arrington to the reading club. It is just everything. I am so happy. So please, if you have time, please go over there and welcome her. I am thrilled to pieces to have her. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, these streets are smoking. They are smoking hot. Why? It seems that Willy and Kitty are absolutely separated. At least that's the way it's looking with this new video that has gone absolutely viral. It has, and I love it for them. I do, and we're going to talk about that and what the squatties are saying about it. It is so funny to me, y'all. Y'all know I'm messy, and I love a mess. And this right here, this is pretty messy, I must say. And we're also going to talk about a article, well, a post and an article. I didn't even bother to read the article from Jack Royston. He has picked up this narrative that the trolls have decided to go with. It really started on Reddit. I've been knowing about this for a few days. I chose not to report on it or anything like that because I just found it insane. I really did. But now that Jack Royston has picked up on it and is putting it out there, of course, I really feel that I have to push back on it because it is literally insane. And I'm not being over dramatic when I say that. When we talk about it, you're going to see how insane these people are and why we chose from the beginning as the Sussex Squad to call these people that hate on Megan derangers because they are certifiably deranged. They are. All of them need to be put in a psych ward. And when we talk about what the latest craziness that these people have been up to, you're going to understand what I'm saying. Like I said, is not hyperbole. This is absolutely right on point. And it just is a blaring difference. It just shows a blaring difference between these crazies and the Sussex Squad. We are so different from these people. I mean, we would never do some crazy stuff like this, but we're going to talk about it. And we have a few other things we're going to talk about as well. So let's get started. I'm going to put this up. And this is a repost, and the original post posted the video, the famous video that has gone viral of Willie getting off of the helicopter at Kensington Palace with Prince George and Princess Charlotte. And the two children seem to have overnight bags. And it really makes you think, you know, why would these two kids who have this as a home as well, Kensington Palace, why would they need overnight bags just to stay at Kensington Palace at the apartment, their original home when they were born? Why would they not have clothes there? Why would they come with a backpack and a looked like a overnight bag Charlotte had in her hand? I mean, very strange. Very strange. But I digress. The squatty that posted this video said this: at least the co-parenting appears to be going well. Here are Charlotte and George captured arriving by helicopter at Kensington Palace with their overnight bags. It's been obvious for a while that Willie and Kate are separated. The kids shuttle between their parents' homes. What y'all think? It seems to look that way. Well, we all know that the squatties have been saying this for, I know since 2022, 2023. Yeah, it just has been obvious. And you can see that he has been going through some things. I mean, physically, he has just changed completely. He doesn't even look like the same person almost. He looks so haggard. At one time, I was confused on who had the cancer, Kitty or him, because Kitty looked fine. He looked like he was dying. Y'all remember that? Swaying like a palm tree in Florida in a hurricane? Absolutely could not stand up. He felt the earth move when it wasn't moving, and he was just trying to hold on. And he looked terrible. So, yeah, this has been going on for a while. Now, I don't know what has gone down, but we all know she has that huge scar on the side of her head. He has been absolutely just showing that he physically is going down. I mean, he's so skinny at this. At one point, he got so skinny he looked emaciated, to be honest. And then all of a sudden, he started looking better. Now, I don't know what has gone down. I am not going to pretend like I know, but we all know something went down. And it was something serious because you don't have a scar on your face like that and nothing serious not happen. And ambulance show up, and we know that. And you don't look like you are going through some things unless you are going through some things. And he looked like he was really going through it. And so now this. So it all makes sense to me. Now, do we know for sure that this is what's going on? No, we do not. But you can't deny what your eyes are seeing. Something going on. I'm just saying. And the squatty that reposted this said, critics, haters, and naysayers act like Harry and Meghan are divorcing if they're spotted out separately. It's projecting. It's obvious that William and Kate are living separate lives. She won't divorce him because she gave up everything for the Queen Consort title. Where is the lie? Kitty ran the honeypot. You think she gonna give up that crown? Absolutely not. I agree with this squatty right here. Kate ain't going nowhere. And whatever happened to the side of her face, she still has decided to play along. Now, do I think they're separated? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely. She has decided that the crown means more than her dignity, than her happiness, than anything. She wants the big hat. And they have decided that this is what's going to work for them. Now, I don't know what Willie is into and what he's doing, but y'all know the whole theory that the squatties have about Kitty and Thomas Kingston. But I'm not going to speak on that too much because, people be listening. But we know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And so, like I said, this has been going on for a while, at least 2 or more years. These two people have been living separate lives and shuttling those children between the two homes. My belief, my belief. And I do feel that this right here is what we can consider a receipt. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This is a repost, and the original post says, oh my gosh, there's no way William and Kate are sharing a home. This looks like joint custody agreement in action. Why lie to the public about this? Hashtag royal family can be more relatable if it comes out with the truth. I feel sad for the kids. Hashtag Kate Middleton. Well, the reason they can't come out with it is because of Charles and Diana and that fiasco. Yes, Charles absolutely showed his arse, and Diana ended up dead. And because of that, the heir cannot divorce because it would be considered a failure. And really has absolutely curated this image of the perfect family man. I mean, he has fronted that to the hilt and pretended like he has this loving relationship with Kate, and he is just the quintessential husband and father. Yes, what Harry is what Willie pretends to be. And so, because of this, it goes against their brand. It goes against the brand of the monarchy. That's why it was such a disaster when Charles did it. I mean, it was all right for Anne. It was all right for the former prince. It was all good for all of them. But it never, ever, ever is good for the heir. They have to project perfection. and which is laughable to me because these mediocre jokers are anything but perfection. And it's as if they don't understand that. It's as if they don't get it. They really think that they are blowing smoke up the skirt of the British people, and the British people can't see them for what they are. And that's not very much. But yeah, that's the reason. He can't do it because it's absolutely would be considered a moral failure. And we all know they love their image. Willy and Kitty do. They really think they fooling people, but they're only fooling themselves. But I digress. This is the reason why. This is the reason why. And the squatty that reposted this said the last time William and Kate lived in the same house with their children was in Kensington Palace in 2022. And I believe that with everything in me. It has been that long. And you can tell by the body language between the two. They don't even really like each other. Even when they try to fake the PDA, it just comes across as very staged. And if you see them together, the last time they were seen together, which was the Christmas walk, and they were coming out of the church, they came nowhere near one another. They never talked to one another. They never chit chatted, with each other, like married couples do when they're out with their families. None of that. I didn't even see them make eye contact. It was very, very staged. I would not be surprised if Willie, after everything was over with Christmas at what is it, Amber Hall, he did not fly out and go to his place. And this particular squatty posted a post that I have read prior, but they said this. This reminds me of a report about Charlotte seeing Dad's beard for the first time and not particularly liking it. Tell us they are not living together without telling us. Well, we said this back in, it was not this past Earthlock, but the one before that he had in South Africa, where he sit there with his legs crossed and said that Kitty Cat had precancerous cells. This was the same time. And he also said in that very same interview that he spoke about his beard and said that Charlotte burst into tears when she first saw his beard. And that lets you know that 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks had to pass before that child had saw him. For in order for him to grow a beard, he's not in that household. And Squatty said that at the time. Yes, and he also said in that same interview that he had been there for several days and had not called home because they asked him had he spoke to the children, and he said no, he was going to call them after the interview. What? Yes, that was very, very interesting. That particular interview, a lot came out for us to, analyze and say something going on there. Yeah, something definitely going on there. And it wasn't Kitty having cancer either. Yes, we found out that that was performative on that day in that interview. I'm just saying. Y'all don't miss it. And I'm going to put this up. And this is a repost. And the original post, this squatty posted some screen grabs, some stills from that particular video. And as you can see, yeah, it really looks like what we think it looks like. And this particular squatty said, look like court-ordered co-parenting is going smoothly. Love that for them. And this squatty that reposted that said, now it is zero doubt in my mind that they moved into a super secluded home with a massive security perimeter. They are separated while their own fans that outed them laughed out loud. And the reason they wanted it so secluded is that people will not know that they are separated, because it was people walking back and forth. That was a very open area before they took over that property. And now it is closed down for hundreds of miles around. I mean, very, very secluded. And so, because of that, nobody can see anything that's going on. Now, I don't know, but that sounds like somebody is trying to hide something. And people have been saying that ever since they found out how much property they was taking over, what the whole perimeter of this property was going to be. Why so big? Questions were being asked. Well, now we know the answer. Yes, at least we think we do. That's the only one I can come up with. You don't want people to know what's going on over there. If you ain't hiding nothing, why you hide? I'm just saying, y'all. And this particular squatty said even the dogs know the drill. Yes, the dogs was just running up the hill. They knew where they was going and everything. I have a feeling that the dogs maybe stayed with Willie most of the time because they were right at home. They knew where to go. Nobody was directing them in any form or fashion. They knew the drill, just like this particular squatty said. And it says it's William's week with the children, and he can only manage the older ones. There they go with their overnight bags. But we've been saying that all along. Kate and Willie live separate lives behind closed doors. Cosplay marriage just for the cameras and the subjects. Where is the lie? Where is it? Because they are cosplayers. That's all they do. I don't think they even know who the real Willy and Kitty are, because they take on other people's personas. They take on these different roles and pretend like they're this and they're that. And in actuality, they're none of that. I mean, it is true. It's true. They do nothing but cosplay. And it says, now look out for over explaining articles. Rebecca English will be on cleanup aisle 9 duty soon enough. Where is the lie? I bet you they have her on speed dial right now, telling her to write something to pretend like they are happily in love. And it says Forest Lodge was always Kate's forever separation home. Her mother having an annex to it just says it all. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Is that true? Is Buckleberry? Well, not Buckleberry, but the Middleton's home in Buckleberry is annexed within this parameter of Forest Lodge. I mean, I think it's 168 miles, the parameter is. Is the Middleton's home included in that parameter? If y'all know, put that in the comments, because I didn't know that. But this particular squatty is insinuating that. And if that is true, like this squatty says, that does just say it all. So, like I said, if you know, put it in the comments, because I didn't know that. I did not know that. And I'm going to put this up. This is from Not My King, and it ties together two stories. The big story from yesterday and the big story from today. And of course, the big story from today is, this seemingly co-parenting scene that we just got from this video of Willie and the children, getting off the helicopter. Well, they're also talking about, Not My King is talking about the second biggest story, which was yesterday, and I made a podcast about it, is how many miles they are logging on these helicopters. Not My King said this: remember how we have to buy these choppers so they can squeeze in more work. William for home has had 26 days off in the last month, but the kids still need shuttling between residents. Are we beginning to think it was all a scam? Yes, it's always been a scam. It's been a scam for over 1,000 years, as Byron would say. Yes, for over 1,000 years. This has been a scam. Yes, them pretending and presenting themselves to be better than their so called subjects, and in actuality, they are less than. But yet and still, they are allowed to grift off the taxpayer. So, yeah, it is a scam. It's absolutely a scam. And a perfect example of it being a scam is just what Not My King just said, that Willie worked 26 days out of the last month. 26 days out of the last month. And you can say it's because of the holidays or whatnot, but Willie and Kitty has been doing this when it's not the holidays. Willie clocked, I think, 212 hours, 212 engagements last year, and Kitty clocked around 63. Now, you don't get those kind of numbers working every day, working once a week, working every 2 weeks out of the month. They have been doing this since forever. Forever. They went on 6 or 7 vacations last year. But yet and still, you asking yourself, Not My King, if this is a scam. Oh, yes, yes, yes. You asked the question and you answered the question. Yes, it is a scam and a grift. And I mean gaslighting at the highest level to make people believe that somehow these people are superior to them and they should empty their pockets to them. I mean, it's crazy that the British taxpayer continues with this nonsense. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up because Now My King is speaking on how the palace was so quick to come in to defend their use of these helicopters. I mean, which is kind of hard to defend when Willie is the top user of the helicopters and he is, I think, sixth or seventh on the list of people who did engagements last year. I think he clocked maybe 212 engagements, or I think it was 202 engagements. I mean, right below the Duke of Gloucester. But yet and still, they rushed in to defend him. Now, we know Anne, she is not going to jump on a helicopter unless she's going somewhere to do an engagement. But Willie, we just got through talking about how Willie does nothing but shuttle his family back and forth and uses helicopters as if they are cars. But this is what Not My King said. A spokesperson for Buckingham Palace said that the helicopters allow for the royals to easily reach remote places and undertake multiple royal duties in one day, streamlining travel for maximum impact. And and taking the kids to Kensington Palace. Yeah, that too. Yeah, we see you. We see exactly what's going on here. And my hope is that the British taxpayer sees what's going on here as well. But I'll tell you the reason why I featured this particular post. Because isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how they can just come right on out and defend something that really can't be defended? But they do it with ease and they do it so quickly when they want to. I mean, what happened to their old mantra of never explain, never complain? It seems like they are explaining a lot here. But like I said, the reason I wanted to feature this is the quickness of how they responded. And it tells me a lot. It tells me that the reason they didn't respond when Meghan was being attacked wasn't because of their mantra, never complain, never explain. No, it was because they didn't want to, because they're doing a whole lot of explaining now when they have been caught doing some nonsense with these helicopters. Yeah, they jumped right on out there and had a spokesperson to say something about it. But when Meghan was being hammered day after day after day, I mean, Piers Morgan on national television every morning trying to figure out a way that he could bring Meghan up to hammer her. It was nothing coming out the palace. When they called Archie a monkey, nothing coming out of the palace. When they lied on Meghan time and time and time again, nothing coming out of the palace. So we all know that it's there for everyone to see. The reason Meghan left was because they wanted her to leave. Harry said it on the Stephen Colbert show that they knew his wife was going to leave because of the way they were abusing her. But where the embarrassing part came in is when he left with her. They had no idea that he would leave with her. Why? Because none of the royals have ever left. They have always chosen privilege over love. And I just love it. I love it. It is another receipt that these people are nothing but liars. When they want to defend something or someone, they come right on out and do it because they never had any intentions of protecting Meghan or defending Meghan or Archie. They never wanted to do that because they were the ones that were doing the attacking and they wanted her gone. So every time one of these flying monkeys get on these panel shows and pretend like Meghan just walked away and she didn't want to do the work, yeah, here's another receipt. If they really wanted her to stay, why didn't they say something? Because they clearly could have. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up, and this particular squatty is putting it all together. Why we saw what we saw with the kids being shuffled back and forth between Willy and Kitty. At least that's the way it looked. This particular squatty said, why William started attending more events without Kate? Why did she need to use Photoshop on the Mother's Day photo? And why did she have to incorporate herself in the last Christmas card? And y'all know that was a big thing. Squatties was thinking that that whole Christmas card, it was Photoshop. She was absolutely just kind of put in there. It was really a photo shoot with Willie and the kids. And in order for her to be a part of the Christmas card, she photoshopped herself in. And this squatty also says, we're talking about people who supposedly live together. It starts to make sense. Exactly. To me, this whole thing that has gone viral with him and the kids, looking like they are spending the weekend with their dad or spending time with their dad is, yeah, it's starting to make sense. And like I said, we had the first clues, I would say, when I started to believe they wasn't living together was when he crossed his legs and did that interview in South Africa. And he said what he said about his beard. I mentioned this earlier in this podcast. You are not living with someone and your child is not noticing you're growing a beard day to day to day. That child broke down in tears because she saw you. Because the last time she saw you, you didn't have a beard, and the next time she saw you, you did. It takes a while to grow a beard. So Willie is not seeing those kids on a daily basis. He is not. So that right there, to me, let the cat out the bag. All of this other stuff is just receipts. It's just confirmation. This has been going on for a while now. I believe it's been going on ever since Harry and Meghan left. I really do. I believe ever since Harry and Meghan left and they have become more and more successful, that marriage has fallen apart. Why? Because Harry married better. He did. And Kitty could not compete. She couldn't compete where she didn't compare. And we all know Willie wants everything that Harry has. And because of that, she could not measure up. He wanted her to step up. She couldn't because she's mediocre to the core. And that is where the rubber hit the road and ultimately made the marriage dissolve right in front of the eyes of everybody. All those flying monkeys knows what's going on here. They know, but they're too afraid to report it. Just like they knew about Prince Philip and Penny Natchbull. Yeah, they knew about that, but they never said a word. Yeah, so this is nothing new. And I'm gonna put this up because it looks like some of the media is catching on to what is going on here. This particular squatty posted these articles that have been written about it. And one article said video of Prince William and kids in snow fuels marriage rumors. And then it was another article say pretty much the same thing. Said video of Prince William and kids landing at Kensington Palace sparks separation rumors. But like I said, those flying monkeys, they ain't gonna say nothing about it. I bet you this is an American publication. It's nothing from across the pond because they shake in their boots every time. They fold like cheap tents. They are not journalists. They are PR people. They're PR people for the palaces. But this particular squatty that posted this said the world is catching on to William and Kate's separation. That marriage has been done for years at this point. Exactly. We just got through talking about that. It was done the minute that Harry and Meghan stepped into their new home in Montecito and started to thrive. It was done then. So yeah, I agree with this squatty. And it really, really is good that other people are starting to catch on to what squatties have been saying for years. This is nothing new. This is not new information. This is not breaking news for squatties. This is receipts. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up. And as a response, of course, the trolls are going to come in with their lies. And this troll posted this, and a squatty had a response. But this is what the troll posted saying, breaking, Prince William and Princess Catherine and the kids were seen at Kensington Palace by helicopter today. So exciting to watch them again. Yes, trying to muddy the water, trying to pretend like we didn't see what we saw, and trying to replace the actual video that we have been speaking upon with this one. This is a very old video. Obviously old because George looks like he maybe is 7 in this video. And Charlotte looks very young as well. But they want to try to make us believe that this is a new video. I'm telling you, when we call them deranged, that is not an insult. That's an observation. Okay? They are crazy. They are actually posting this in order to try to make themselves feel better about the fact that what squatties have been saying is actually true. They cannot handle the truth. This is their version of stimming. Yes, soothing themselves. This is what they do. They create this fantasy, these lies about Meghan, about Harry. They create these fantasies about Willy and Kitty, all to stem, all to soothe themselves. And this right here is a perfect example of that. And this squatty that posted this said, seriously, after a recent video of Willie and the kids with their overnight bags arriving at Kensington Palace without Louis and Kate, this person actually thinks posting an old video of Kate and the kids is really going to fool people into thinking everything is okay in Whoville. No, I don't think that they necessarily are doing it to make people think that everything is okay in Whoville. They're stemming. Yes, they're stemming because it's not quite going the way they have fantasized it to be. That Kate and Willie is this loving couple and Harry and Meghan are divorcing every day. They're filing paperwork every day to be divorced. This is just them showing how fevered-minded and deranged they are. These people are probably on their couch right now with their thumbs in their mouths, rocking back and forth. They are just trying to get through it all because they are so delusional and so deranged they cannot handle the truth that Willie and Kitty is not the dream couple that they have made them out to be. So they have to deal in fantasy. They cannot deal in reality. I'm just saying. And I must say, the funniest part about this whole post is going in the comments. I mean, her fevered-minded followers are having a moment of clarity and calling her out saying, this looks like an old video. You sure this is a new video? It is so funny. I love it for the trolls. I do. I love it for the derangers and these ugly old hags because even even their fevered-minded followers are not falling for the okie doke. No, they are not being bamboozled on this one, and it is hilarious. It is. The comments are absolutely, woo, it gives me life. It does. The light bulb is not all the way on for these followers, but you can see it's starting to flicker. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, when derangers feel the need to post a 3-year-old video of a family boarding a helicopter together, they know. Yeah, they do know. They absolutely know, but they just cannot quite face reality. They're just stimming. Give them some time. Give them some time. This is self-soothing that they're going through. And while we are speaking on the subject of mental health, let's not forget what is also going on and has just kind of blossomed into a huge thing. Because I saw this maybe 3, 4 days ago, but I really would not put it in my podcast because y'all know how I am. I am not one to give nonsense life. Now, once it comes into its own and becomes a story, then of course I will talk about it. But if I just see it on the internet streets, I'm not going to give it life because it's so crazy. It is so loony. I just said, no, it's no way anybody would do something like this. And my first thoughts is this is the difference between squatties and derangers. We would never pull no nonsense like this. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Little Tooth, Big Tooth. Now, I call her Little Tooth, Big Tooth because Megan paid for those teeth she has in her mouth. Because a lot of y'all might know her as Gumby. That's what a lot of squatties used to call her because she had very little teeth and these huge gums. And she had gum surgery. And now she is looking proper when it comes to her teeth. But I digress. I decided to call her Little Tooth, Big Tooth because, yeah, her teeth were little. Now they're big. And Megan paid for them. But yes, Little Tooth, Big Tooth, she made a video and she decided to go on Megan's website as ever and play on Megan's website. This is something that squatties would never do. We don't have enough interest about Kitty Cat to do any nonsense like this. We don't go, when Kitty Cat goes to a charity or something like that, we don't go up under the charity and start talking trash about Kitty Cat because we don't care. We don't care. But the minute Megan goes somewhere, they have to turn the comments off or something like that. Y'all remember when Megan went to the LA Children Hospital and read that book to those sick children? These deranged people went under the comments and said all kind of nonsense things, very hateful things about Megan. We would never do that. And of course, if Kitty Cat had a website, We wouldn't do this. I remember when Kitty Cat had that coffee table book of those pictures that we believe she never took, but okay, okay. She had this photography book. We didn't go on Amazon and give it bad ratings and talk trash about it or do anything like that because she doesn't rank enough of our attention or our feelings of caring about what she is doing to do something like that. You have to be motivated or sick to do something like that. But these people do this. And Little Tooth, Big Tooth, who is one of the queens of the crazies, went on Megan's site playing because she saw this other troll on Reddit do the same thing. So she went in there and they really thought they were doing something, finding out how much they could put in their cart before, they could check out all of this nonsense, trying to find out what Megan's inventory is. This particular squatty wrote about it and said, I've seen some crazy things in my lifetime, but this is real crazy. Let me sit at my computer and press buttons 44,000 times, and then I went on QVC to buy some items and it wouldn't allow me to buy 5 items at a time. Does that mean they only have 5 left? No, no. But it was crazy. How can you do something like this? Do you not understand how sick this looks? I'm telling you, I have said it time and time again that the First Lady of France is paving the way. Cardi B is paving the way. Megan Thee Stallion is paving the way. Because they have gotten to the point where they refuse to allow these people to get on these internet streets and talk reckless. They are coming for these people's necks. And I think Megan should choose one. Just choose one, Megan, one, and bury them. Bury them. Absolutely put a gravestone over their career of hating on you. And it would absolutely stop the rest of them. They would fall back because they have just gotten too comfortable with this kind of nonsense. And the original says Megan needs security. These people are crazy. Exactly. Exactly. I would have restraining orders flying all over the place. I really, really would. This is crazy. They are playing on her website and posting it. Who does this crazy shit? I'm just saying. And this squatty speaking on this craziness said this. I don't know how dumb the Rangers are, but thinking that adding hundreds of products in your cart online will tell you the stock number is not only weird, but it also shows how much free time you have and how miserable your life must be. I hope Kate is paying you well, cause girl, exactly. This is ridiculous. This is something a squatty would never do because we don't care about Kate. They pretend like they are Kate fans, but they pay more attention to Megan. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I could care less about what's going on with Kate unless it's to make fun of her. I would never actively go and do something crazy like this. These people are absolutely certifiable. They are, and they need to be dealt with. They are playing in her face at this point. These people are crazy. They need to be served a restraining order today. They need to be dealt with. And this particular squatty said, this one needs a padded room somewhere. By the way, it appears what she's posting is fake from some Reddit account somewhere. Although, regardless, this is just an indecent obsession that should be treated. Exactly. I don't know who Little Tooth, Big Tooth's family is, but come get your daughter. Come get your sister. Come get your auntie. Come and get your friend because she is in dire need of some help because she's over on the As Ever website playing like this. It is sick. It really is. But I agree with this squatty. She needs a padded room because it's crazy. And a lot of squatties are saying that Kensington Palace is paying her. Y'all know my theory on that. I think they pay them through the bots. Yes, the bots being there watching those videos, because you can't tell me that these people get that many views and still can't make things happen like the Sussex Squad makes things happen and get SHIT done. These people can't even have a successful fundraiser, but we're supposed to believe that they get hundreds of views. Stop it. And we're supposed to believe that the burial pole is lying to us, that all this fandom that they have, Kensington Palace, Kitty has, they just don't show up behind the burial poles. Stop it. Stop it. You're looking stupid. So you can just miss me with the nonsense on that. But I agree with squatties who say they pay them, but they pay them through bot activity. I'm just saying. And of course, Jack Royston, that flying monkey, he had to get in on this. And this particular squatty posted his post, which said Meghan Markle's As Ever website accidentally reveals her stock tallies, which Newsweek has confirmed as broadly accurate to the Reddit user. She appears to have a mammoth $21.8 million worth of stock, including $1.2 million of flour sprinkles. Why do they care? Why do they care? And also, this whole thing has been disproven anyway, but they're going by a Reddit troll on this, and Little Tooth, Big Tooth. And he had the nerve to go in and do a post about it. I cannot with these flying monkeys. The desperation is showing. But this particular squatty reposted that and said, this means that As Ever is a major industry, a large company, not the small kitchen-made jam the UK media pretended it was. Exactly. They went in there and they absolutely discovered something, that Meghan is not small potatoes. Yes, Meghan and Netflix is not playing with them because they are selling product. And this particular squatty went on and said, while it's disturbing that the UK media is stalking Meghan Sussex to this level, this shows that Meghan is soon to be a billionaire, as we've been saying. Yes, I love this for them, because they thought they were really going in to try to show that somehow Meghan had no inventory, but somehow they stumbled on the fact that, yeah, she has a lot. They don't know exactly how much, because like I said, this whole Reddit troll, that you can't get a proper read on what Meghan has in stock, and as for stock numbers or not, but you can get kind of a feel. And the feeling is that Meghan is not playing and Netflix is not playing. Meghan is going to be a billionaire. And I'm going to put this up because I love this. This all started out for evil and it has turned into good. It has. And usually this is what happens when they try to do Harry and Meghan dirty. It always turns into something good. Yes. This particular squatty posted the article, talked about the article from the Times, and it says, article from the Times, Meghan's jam is the toast of the town as it sells 1 million jars, generated an income estimated at 27 million. Congratulations to Meghan. To all of the naysayers that criticize Meghan As Ever products, they can go kick rocks. And as you can see, here's the article. It says Meghan's jam is the toast of the town and sells 1 million jars. Yes, Meghan is not playing with them. Meghan has us in a chokehold when it comes to that raspberry jam. It has sold out again. So all I can say to the haters, the trolls, the ugly old hags, and little too big too, suck it, because again, you played yourself. Yes, you played yourself, and we love it. And this squatty says, well, that backfired. Those Reddit trolls were trying to humiliate Megan. Instead, they've proven that as ever is successful. I still think the numbers originally posted were off. Obviously, nothing has been confirmed. These are still estimates, but let me tell you, it looks like Megan is absolutely out here balling when it comes to her fruit spreads. And you know, it's a lot of people crying, especially the trolls who exposed this when they thought they were doing something really, really smart. They were doing something really, really stupid because they have proven the point that the squatties have been saying. Megan has absolutely been successful at her business and she's going to be a billionaire. Can y'all imagine the reaction of this over there at Kensington Palace? I bet you it is some folks rolling around on those 400-year-old rugs, just absolutely crying and holding their stomachs because they have done everything to bury this woman, and she is truly the definition of a seed because she has done nothing but rise and blossom. I love it, y'all. I love it. And this squatter just says, thank you, derangers, laughing my A off. Me too. Me too. I love this for them. I do. I do, y'all. I love it. And one last thing, we have had our first sighting of our favorite royal couple in 2026. Yes, they were on these people's podcast, and I'll get into it later in my next podcast. But they were on this podcast, and this particular squatty posted about it, and it says 2026. Here we go. There's the Duke and Duchess of Sussex out supporting and helping others, making a difference. They look rested and glowing like the sun. And it was about the hidden cost of one base childhood. And we'll talk about it more in our next podcast. But yes, they are out and about and looking really, really good. Like they had a really good holiday. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.